My next guest takes on Donald Sanchez at LFA 58 on January 25th. Is Fernando Padilla joining me here on the program for the very first time. Fernando, how are you?
Oh, perfect. Really good, really good. A little bit tired because of training, but everything is perfect.
Well, I appreciate you mustering up the strength to do this interview. I appreciate it. I know you're a tired guy, so that's good to hear. I appreciate it. First time I've had you on the show, so I got to know how did you get involved in combat sports?
Well, it's a weird story. To make it short is I've been always like I feel that I have it in my blood. My dad was a really good street fighter. My grandpa from the side of my mom, he knows a lot about boxing. My grandpa from the side of my dad too. I just feel that I have it in my blood, and I've been doing it all life. The street, the sport, and just yeah, I get to the point that I'm right now, right here, where I am, and I'm happy of what I'm doing.
Yeah, it certainly worked out for you, man. You got the really great record, 11-3, and obviously a big opportunity here for LFA. One of the things I wanted to ask you: are you a full time fighter? Like, do you train full time, or do you have a day job on top of that and try and balance that?
No, I'm a full-time fighter. I just train and fight. That's everything I do.
That's great. And I know you linked up with Terphouse a little while ago. How did that all come together?
Without talking to them for a couple months because I went back to Chihuahua. But they being there, my the last fight that I would King of the Cage. When I win the fight, I put the shirt. I put the Terphouse shirt. Uh, everything is good with them. I love them. They are really cool with me. They're always like taking care of me, and like that's really I appreciate that a lot.
Well, I'm sure you use a lot of their products for recovery. What are you using right now for recovery and training camp?
The CBD oil for sure. The CBD cream. I have a couple here. I have the CBD oil. I have the cream over here too. I use them like for like the CBD oil is the one that I really use a lot. Pretty much, it's always there. Like it helps me to stretch and like get my condition better. Like when I stretch and I take the CBD oil, I feel great.
That's awesome, man. Love hearing that. Let's talk about the fight. Donald Sanchez. This guy's been around forever. He's got what? He's 30-19 record. Just a huge veteran. How do you feel like you match up against him?
I think he's a good fight. A lot of people tell me that why I take this fight that I need to that I should like see what I'm fighting or things like that. But I actually look at him before saying like yes or whatever. Um, he's a good boxer. He like you say he's been around for years. But I'm young, I'm hungry, and like I want this. I want this more than nothing in this life. I'm sacrificing a lot. I just came back um, from Chihuahua, from my hometown. I was there in December, and it's something hard. Every time I say bye to my family, it's something really hard. And uh, don't get me wrong, I love this place. I love California. I love to stay here. The time that I can stay and like hang around with my friends, with my I call them my family. They are my family. Fighter House, the Team Oyama, everybody's my family. But being out of my comfort zone, out of my family, out of my like closest friends, everything is really hard. It's really really hard, and that make me more hungry. Like if I want to go back to Chihuahua, I need to fight. I need to win. I need to get to the UFC. I need to get this fight first. Um, yes, he's really like you say. He's been around for a long time, but that doesn't mean nothing for me. I'm just going to do my work. I've been training hard. I'm keep training hard, and like I'm going to do my job.
Yeah, and it's going to be a great matchup. You mentioned going back and forth. Like, how often do you go back home? Do you get to go, a couple times a year, or how does that work out?
Well, not that often. The last year was really hard for me because uh I went back just for like 10 days, I think so, or less, like in the middle of the year. And that's all. Like I just look at my family for like 10 days and come back and fight, well, train, fight, and then like I tell my coach like, you know what, I want to be there in December. Like December is the year, the month is my month.
Yeah, you got to go back home and see family. That's important.
Yeah.
What initially brought you to the States?
Uh, well, I was fighting in Mexico. I get to a record of 6-0, and it started getting really hard to fight over there. nobody want to fight me over there. I start looking for fights. I start there's a big company. It's big. Jair Pantera was champion there. Chito Vera was champion there. FMP. That's a big company over there, and I call out the champion, the 145 champion. I remember I went inside the cage. I make the noise, and the moment that when they put the contract in the table, he just say no. He say that he wants to retire with the championship, and he knows that I'm going to win. So that pissed me off a lot, and like the people from the company is really good. I love them. I don't have a problem with them, but they tell me like, yeah, we search for like other people, and nobody want to fight. Like nobody really want to fight. So it was really hard. It was really hard. I passed from a depression state. I passed for a really the like I was really depressed because I was between I was deciding between like staying stuck and like doing what I love, or just keep studying because I was studying laws back in Mexico, and I was doing that because of my mom and my dad, because they always want me to study and be good in school. But it wasn't me, it wasn't mine, I remember going back home and like sleeping all day because I don't have energy for nothing. I went back to train, I went home and just sleep. I don't even want to go out of the house. I was just depressed with life. But I get a contact with Coach Casey Hosler, and he's the best. He's the best. Coach Casey is just, I love him with all my heart. I talked to him and tell him like, hey, you know what? I want to go and train with you. And he was like, oh yeah, for sure. Whenever you want to go, you just go. Like you can stay over there like 2 weeks and things like that. And I told him like, no, you don't understand, coach. I want to be there. Like I want to get to the UFC. And he told me, oh okay. You send me all your info and I got a gym for you. And less than a week, we talked in Mexico City in a EBI, in a tournament in the EBI, and then in less than a week, I was ready to come to the United States.
That's great, man. So you've made a lot of sacrifices, obviously, to get to this point with the goal of getting to the UFC, which I think is great. Not a lot of people chase their dreams, but you've certainly done that, and like you said, you had to make the sacrifices. Who are some of the training partners you get to work with over at Team Oyama? You mentioned Chito Vera, who's got a big fight coming up in March now against Thomas Almeida. Who are some of the other guys you get to work with?
Well, I work with everybody, but at the same time, we've been having a lot of more bodies, and it's been like we've been separating. For example, the 135ers with the 135ers, that Alex Perez, Chito is still like training with me, like with them. Who else? We have Desmond Torres. He's training to it with the 35ers, with the 25ers, and then I train with, for example, Christian Aguilera. Um, when Primus was here, I tell coach, and I train with him a little bit too. We used to have Alex Reyes. We used to have Humberto Vandenay. Right now it's Christian and me pretty much. We always training. We have Dean Hancock too. He's really good. I tell you, we have a bunch of fighters over here, and like I love them all. I love them all, and I love to train with them.
How do you see this fight playing out on the 25th?
uh, it's hard, but I always see myself winning. I always see myself winning. I always say it is, there's two options. I'm going to knock him out, or I'm going to tap him. Uh, Tap him out. Yeah, I'm always saying that, and I'm training hard for that. Like I tell you again, a lot of people were like not too happy about this. Like, oh, why you take this fight? But at the end of the day, I just want to fight. This is what I love. This is what I live for. Like if you cannot take opportunities, if you cannot take chances, like what's what's the goal? Like I take the opportunity to came to United States. I could say no and stay in Chihuahua, training and get stuck and like get to be a I don't know, get to be a just a trainer of a regular gym. But that wasn't my goal. That wasn't my dream. My dream is getting to the UFC, be the world champion, and I take the chance. So same with this fight. If I have to take a chance, I saw the guy. He's a good, like I tell you, he's a good boxer. He's been around for a long time, but I feel that I'm better. For sure, I feel that I'm better. So I take the fight.
Has LFA told you if you win this fight that you could potentially get a title shot? Because I imagine with your record, you'd be pretty close in line for one.
Well, yeah, I was trying actually last year I was trying to go for the run for the LFA champion for the championship, but a lot of things happened. I lost my first fight, and like in my at the beginning of the year, my first fight was in LFA, and I lost that fight. And then it was a little bit hard to get another fight in LFA. I fight with King of the Cage, and then things happen. I lost that fight, and then they start like not just LFA, but a lot of companies they start like getting me fights and then cancel, getting me fight cancel. I even signed contracts, and like 1 week before the fight, they were like, "Oh no, you're not fighting. Oh no, you're not fighting." So I stay like pretty much before my last loss last year. I was training like for 5 months, just fight camp to like fight camp and fight camp and fight camp, just because they tell me I'm going to fight a lot of times, and then I get to fight in King of the Cage in November 4th, and I win. Thank God I win. I was feeling super good. And then I get another opportunity, another chance to fight in LFA. I love the company. Everybody over there treat me super, super good. They are super, like, how do you say it? They're always looking for me. Like,
Yeah, they're
they
respectful and they treat you well, like you were saying, right? So.
Mhm. So I love to fight there, and like if I can get the chance to for a title shot in LFA, I would love to do it.
Well, we're looking forward to this fight. In the meantime, it's LFA 58 coming up here January 25th live on Access TV. Fernando, it was great getting a chance to talk to you, man. Just remind people where they can find you on social media. And if you have any sponsors or shout outs, the floor is yours, man.
Uh, Thank you. Well, I have a couple of sponsors. First of all, I have my own shirts. If you want to buy them, and
Look
see
at those.
next,
Those are nice.
yeah, it's my tattoo. If you can see it over there, I don't know if you
Oh,
can see
cool. Yeah, no, I see it. Yeah.
it. Yeah. You can find it on cnexwear.com. It's over there. That's one of my sponsors. Shout out for them. I have Terphouse for sure. Obviously, follow them, look at them, and try the products. They are really good. They help a lot. And ATTC wear too. I have a lot of sponsors. I
No, for
want to
sure.
say,
Yeah, it helps. It helps you do this full
uh,
time, you know?
I want to say hi to my dad too. Thank you for all the support. And if you want to find me in my social media, is Fer Padilla MMA. In Instagram, Twitter, the same. And Facebook is just FER Padilla. It's just the three first letters of my first name.